As we get closer and closer to the release of Disney's new live-action Little Mermaid, we get more and more information, and it would appear they're making even more changes, especially specifically to the lyrics of two songs to be less offensive. In this article from Screen Rant, the Little Mermaid remake changed lyrics to two songs to be less offensive. I remember watching The Little Mermaid. I remember multiple songs, all of them pretty much. I can sing half the dang things from front to back. I don't remember anything being all that offensive. Let's see what the modern sensibilities say. Little Mermaid remake composer Alan Menken reveals that the lyrics to two songs from the animated classic will feature updated lyrics to make them less offensive. Offensive to who? Who's the arbiter of this offensive industry? Serving as a live-action remake to the beloved 1989, you dare. You call the film beloved, but you're going to remake it over and over again. Change this, change that, absolutely butcher the original Disney story. I specified Disney story because we all know that the stories Disney ripped them from, they changed them. They are far less, I guess, barbaric. They have very different endings. The endings to the Disney shows, the Disney movies, are much more happy. The Little Mermaid stars Halle Bailey as Ariel, a mermaid who strikes a deal with the sea witch to trade her voice for human legs. Now that's a very important bit of information that people seem to forget. The upcoming film is the latest of several live-action remakes that Disney has made in the last several years that have all just tanked. Terrible. Lion King, bad CG. Mulan, terrible story. Pinocchio, no idea how that did. Why aren't you mentioning Dumbo and, oh, what's the other one that I keep forgetting? Lady and the Tramp. They made live actions of those. Do you remember them? I don't. I've had to go look up trailers for them. All of which make changes to their source material. Ahead of the Little Mermaid remake's release date next month, May 26th, Menken reveals in an interview with Vanity Fair that both Kiss the Girl and Poor Unfortunate Souls, two of the most well-known... Hey, don't forget about the Cook song. That was a great song. Les Poissons. Two of the most well-known songs from the original film had to have their lyrics updated so that modern audiences wouldn't find them offensive. There is nothing offensive about those songs. It's less clear which specific lines were changed from the latter songs, but Kiss the Girl does have several lyrics that don't reflect modern ideals. Okay, here's a quote from Menken. There are some lyric changes to Kiss the Girl because people have gotten very sensitive about the idea that Prince Eric would in any way force himself on Ariel. Did you watch the movie at all? At no point during that song does Eric come close to forcing himself. During the entire song, all of Ariel's friends from under the sea yeah, are trying to serenade Eric to convince him that Ariel wants a kiss. Ariel is continuously leaning in to give Eric the hint because she can't talk. She has to use her body language because that's a thing that people seem to have forgotten. Actual body language. Obvious body language. And Eric, being a dumb shit, takes forever. But to sit there and insinuate that Eric, at any time in this movie, much less during the song, is trying to force himself onto Ariel is preposterous, to say the least. Let's continue. We have some revisions in Poor Unfortunate Souls regarding lines that might make young girls somehow feel like they shouldn't speak out of turn, even though Ursula is clearly manipulating Ariel to give up her voice. So you recognize the context of the song, the reason why Ursula is saying those words. She's trying to convince Ariel that she doesn't need her voice to get Prince Eric. It's part of the con. To change the lyrics to the song, again, it's moronic. And if you actually don't know the words to the song, it goes, the men up there don't like a lot of blather. I'm about to sing it. They think a girl who gossips is a bore. Up on land, it's much preferred for ladies not to say a word, and after all, dear, what is idle prattle for? It's a song Prince or that the sea witch is using to convince, to con, to trick Ariel into signing the contract. Why would you change it? If anything, it shows just how evil Ursula is. My God. I why if it's so beloved, why are you changing it? Does anyone actually think the song Kiss the Girl is problematic? Does anyone legitimately think after watching the original Mermaid, something every single one of my kids has watched? I got a few. Does anyone really think that Prince Eric tries to force himself on oh God. If you love it so much, why are you changing it? We want representation. Okay, make a new story. You did it with Prince and the Frog. Prince and the Frog is a pretty damn cool, good movie. I know the words to half the songs in that one too. Make something new. Go find a good story, adapt it into Disney. Stop changing everything. Stop digging up these old movies, switching them into live action, because just re-release the classic ones, make new ones. People want new stories. In addition to the update, let's go continue with the article. In addition to the updated song lyrics, it's very likely that other aspects of the original Little Mermaid will also receive some changes. These changes would be in keeping with Disney's approach to its other live-action remakes, in which outdated stereotypes, a lack of diversity, make a new story. There's no lack of diversity in Mulan, Moana, in Princess and the Frog. Those are recent. There's no lack of diversity there. You did a fairly good job in actually creating something new. Decent stories that kids will enjoy. Preteens will enjoy. Just keep doing that. Open up the vault, re-release it, remaster them and re-release it. It's a money-making opportunity, but I guess Disney just does not like to make money. They want to continue on this. Where was I? Lack of diversity or other potentially offensive. So you're coming out and saying they're offensive before people even make a comment on it. Getting ahead of the game there. Almost like you're writing the narrative and looking for it to be proven instead of the other way around. Other potentially offensive elements are removed or updated to reflect more modern sensibilities. I hate modern sensibilities. You're a bunch of babies. I can't stand it. And in light of recent events, it's both sides of the fence, too. Many of Disney's animated classics, after all, were released in a very different area. Yeah, but, you know, Anita Sarkeesian is not an example of modern sensibilities and modern ideologies. She's a cancer. If you don't know who that is, be happy. Bailey herself has already confirmed the Little Mermaid remake will feature one significant departure from the original in terms of Ariel's motivations. Oh boy, I talked about this in another video. Apparently the idea that Ariel's motivations is strictly Eric. No. Her motivation is to be part of the surface world. She wants legs to be part of the surface world. In order to be part of the surface world, in order to become human, she has to convince Eric to kiss her. Because why? Oh, she sees Eric and she falls in love. This is so wrong. In the animated movie, Ariel chooses to trade her voice for human legs out of her love for Eric. Wrong. That's just a secondary reason. It is not the primary reason. Because you didn't watch the show. You didn't pay attention to the movie. Bailey, however, confirms that Ariel in the Little Mermaid remake won't just be motivated by her love for a boy and is more focused on attaining her own personal freedom, thus reflecting modern feminist. Oh, God. This movie is going to fail. People are becoming less and less interested in the, I guess, live action remakes. The more information that comes out about the behind the scenes workings of this makes me less and less inclined to watch it or even let my kids watch it. I'll go dig up the original Little Mermaid. I'll go find my copies of the original animated shows and I will show that to them all day, every day. All these changes, this modern garbage, this modernity bullshit is getting tiresome. Slowly but surely, people are waking up to the agenda filled garbage. Or I'm just losing my mind. Who knows? Maybe a little bit of both. What do you think about these changes? Do you think the changes are going to be good? Do you prefer the original songs? Personally, I prefer the original songs. Nobody's going to remember these movies just like Lady and the Tramp and Dumbo live actions. No one's going to remember these in 5 years. People will still talk about the original animated shows 20 years from now, 30 years from now. But let me know what you think in the comments. Are you looking forward to it? Are you not looking for it? Are you tired of it? Do you think I'm being a little overreactive? You're probably right. Leave a like, leave a dislike. Thank you for making it this far. Have a good one.